Welcome back. We're here talking about a new story, and this one, I know I say this every week, is my favorite story. But Ruth, we're going to talk about her because she's one of those famous women in the Bible. And I want to start first with what happened with this family. This is Elimelech. His name means my God is king. His wife's name is Naomi. His sons' names are Mahlon and Chilion. Say it with me. Elimelech, Naomi, Mahlon, and Chilion. This Israelite family is about to make a big mistake. Now, what was happening in Israel at this time was a famine. You think, well, what's a famine? A famine is when there is no food, no water, and everything is dry. But God always provides for his people. So here is Elimelech. He's about to make a decision. He says, Naomi, let's pack our things and let's move to Moab. Boys and girls, Moab is a heathen nation. You see, the people of Israel serve the one true God, but the people of Moab, they serve fake gods or idols. And he said, let's pack up our things and let's go to Moab. Here they have food and they have water. Let's go live there. Well, Naomi and her children, they all packed up their things and they went and they lived in the country of Moab. They were there for quite a long time, long enough for the boys to get married. Now, Mahlon and Chilion both married Moabitish ladies. That means they were from the land of Moab. Now that also was something they should not have done. You see, God wanted the children of Israel to marry people from the children of Israel. It was one of those things in the Bible that was law for the children of Israel. Well, here they married, here's Ruth and Orpah. Say their names, Ruth and Orpah. And there's Naomi. She looks really sad, doesn't she? Well, something happened. You see, her husband had passed away. And so had Ruth's husband and Orpah's husband. Now, all three ladies are what we call widows. Can you say that with me? Yes, widows. A widow is a lady that no longer has her husband and she lives alone. Now, look. In Bible times, these ladies didn't go to work and have jobs like our ladies do nowadays and provide for themselves. They had to depend on their husbands. Well, what are they going to do now? Who are they going to depend on? I know. They're going to depend on God. You see, Naomi had been teaching these ladies all about the one true God, the God of Israel. That's our God. And now Naomi says, it's time for me to go back to my home. So she decides to pack her things and go back to Israel. Orpah and Ruth are trying to help her. And she says, you girls go back to your families. I can't have children so that you can marry them. No, I can't. I'll be too old and you'll be too old. And so she says, no, go back to your family. Let your parents find you a new husband. Well, Orpah said, okay, I'll go back to my family. And then Ruth said, no, ma'am, I'm coming with you. Where you go, I will go. Your God will be my God. And where you stay, I will stay. Ruth made a promise to Naomi to take care of her. So she did. She packed her things and she made a good decision. What did she make? A good decision. She decided to follow Naomi back to Israel. That means she gets to learn more about the one true God and how he provides for his people. Meanwhile, somebody has to bring home food. So Ruth goes and she picks up grain on the outskirts of this field right here. You see, farmers in Israel would leave some for the poor and for the widows to pick up. If they didn't work for this man, but they left some aside for widows and homeless people so that, yes, they worked for their food, but God asked the people of Israel to do this. If there's poor among you, Help feed them. Be kind to them. Boys and girls, don't you think it would be nice for us to be kind to someone that's homeless or someone that's a widow? Maybe there's a widow in your church that you can be a blessing to. Maybe she could use some groceries right now. Maybe she can need some help at her home fixing some things. I don't know, but God says we should take care of the fatherless, the widows, and the homeless. Maybe you can do that like Ruth here is being helpful. She's working and gleaning in this field. But there's something special about this field we're going to find out about pretty soon. Here's Naomi right here. She's excited to be home. And her friends are so excited to see her. It's been over 10 years since they've seen each other. And Naomi says, oh, don't call me Naomi anymore. Call me Mara, because I went out full and I came back empty. Mara means bitter. You see, Naomi's hurt because she lost both of her sons and she lost her husband. Boys and girls, when someone passes away, yes, it is very sad, but we can depend on God. God will take care of us. He will heal our hearts when we are sad. But Naomi here, she has to learn to depend on God. So right now she's bitter, but pretty soon we're going to see God be a blessing to her as she continues to serve him. So if something bad happens to us, should we stop serving God? No, ma'am. We should serve God no matter what we are going through. Ruth continues to work every single day. People notice her. People notice how hard she works. She barely stops to get something to eat. She barely stops to get something to drink. She is constantly working and serving. And then somebody, the boss of the field, notices her. He says, who's that young lady? She doesn't look like a person from Israel. Oh, that's Ruth. She's a virtuous woman. She's from Moab. She came back with Naomi and she's taking care of her. Good young lady. She's a hard worker. And so Boaz watches her and he sees how hard she works. And then he stops and he tells her, do not go anywhere else to glean in the fields. That means picking up food. Don't go anywhere else to pick food from anybody else's field. Stay with my people. Eat with my people. Eat with my workers. Drink from our fountains. We will provide for you. Boys and girls, that's such a blessing. It's amazing. We're going to find out what is going to happen when Boaz continues to take care of Ruth and Naomi.